everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Whole Lotta Bogeys interview series. Today we have a T Custom Putter Grip company coming at you. This is going to help you guys customize your bag, stand out on the course, and have more confidence looking down at your club before you take that putt to beat your buddy on the last hole of the day. And that's going to be Sweet Rollz Grips. We have Lance Garvin here today. Lance, I don't know if you want to introduce yourself to the people and talk a little bit about the company.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, fellas. I appreciate you having me on, and yeah, it's great to be here, bright and early this Saturday morning. So
I'm sure get right to work. Love it.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm co-founder of a company called Sweet Rollz Golf, and we didn't invent the putter grip, as we say, but we made it sexy. So
100%.
Yeah. So me and a buddy several years ago were talking, and we thought, you know what, we could do better on the putter grip. Most of the stuff out there is, black or gray or white, and if you're getting wild and crazy, maybe it's got a red stripe going through it.
Yeah, red writing.
Yeah, just
wild nowadays, right?
crazy, right? Yeah,
right, for sure.
And we thought, man, we could do better than that. And so, long story short, we entered the market with 15 designs. In fact, just to step back a little bit from that, it took us a couple of years to really get a grip that we could stand behind, that would wear well and hold up and things like that. And it was funny. We showed the designs, the digital designs, to friends and family to get their feedback. And they liked it. They said, oh, yeah, that's really cool. And so then we got the prototypes made. We showed them. They're like, oh, yeah, you should do it. And we like it. But you never know when they're lying to you, right? Just to not hurt your feelings or whatever. And
For sure.
Okay, let's take it to the market and let's do it. And we placed our first order, and we're just kind of sitting and waiting after we pressed go online. Man, they started selling great, and in fact exceeded our expectations. Within the first month, we had PGA Tour Superstore reach out to us and want to carry us in their shops. And at first we thought we'd just be like a boutique online store. And when that happened, we're like, okay, I guess we're going retail. And those guys have been amazing to work with from the very beginning. They're awesome.
Yeah.
And then within another 30 days, we had a company called Shields. They're more of a regional out kind of Midwest store. They've got about 30 locations across the country. And then the next day, Golf Galaxy and Dick's reached out and said, hey, we want to carry you as well. And haven't looked back since. But yeah, it's crazy. It's been a journey, and we launched right during COVID as well, right at the very beginning, July of 2020. And we thought, man, what are we doing? And but as you guys know, COVID was one of the best things ever to happen to golf. So
for sure.
Exactly. Great timing for us too.
For sure.
100%.
Yeah, they definitely catch the eye like as soon as you see them. So it's almost not surprising that all these stores were jumping on it right away. Because first time I saw them, I was like, man, I can't believe, I don't know. I can't believe someone else hasn't thought of this already. This is such an ingenious idea to have these great designs on a putter grip like that.
And I'm not gonna lie, the first time we saw them, I remember exactly what we did. We're not lucky enough to have like the PGA Superstores and Shields. We have Golf Galaxy or Pro Shops. And we were at Golf Galaxy. We were looking around, and you stumbled across them, and you were like, dude, check out these grips. And we ended up taking about 80% of the stock and putting it on the floor so that we could make sure we saw each of them.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different designs and like sizes and everything. We just wanted to make sure there was nothing that slipped through the cracks before we made our purchase. And I mean, there's some sweet grips.
And like you said before, it was crazy to put like red writing on a grip or something like that. So you see that in a store or online or anything like that, catches your eye right away for sure.
Yeah. Oh, well, good. I love it. That's a great story too. You laid them all
right
on the floor. That's great. Yeah. We ended up having, I think right now we have about 30 designs, something like that. And we always come out with, 2 or 3, 4 new drops a couple times a year, things like that. What's fun is we've actually done some really cool collaborations with some organizations like Anheuser-Busch and Jimmy Buffett and Margaritaville. Done a couple grips for them. We did one for the Utah Jazz. We've done. I'm trying to think. We've done a number of them. Who is it? The Navy SEAL Foundation. We did a cool one.
That's awesome.
Dick's and Golf Galaxy, as well as PGA Tour Superstore. They each have their own unique grip too that's just available only at their locations, at their stores too. We don't even sell it online, but those are
Oh,
cool.
wow.
They're
What
more
are those grips going to be?
They're there right now. So one is called the Americana. That's the one at Dick's, and Golf Galaxy, and then United is the one that's at PGA Tour Superstore. So stars and stripes and red, white, and blue. They're cool. They both
Sweet.
look good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll find some pictures, throw them up so people can see them. So
So
yeah, definitely.
we've definitely seen then the one at Golf Galaxy and
Yeah.
Dick's, but it's crazy to think if we were to go over to a PGA Superstore, there's kind of like some exclusivity
right.
to the store. That's
Yeah.
cool. Very cool.
Thanks.
Yeah. Speaking of the designs, what's kind of like the design process like? How do you guys go through and kind of settle on which ones you're gonna put out?
Yeah. So when we first got going, this was really interesting. We thought, you know what, we'll serve the underserved women's market, because there are a lot of women's golfers out there or women golfers out there. And we thought we'll make some designs that they like. Well, right from the beginning, we had a lot of guys say, man, these are pretty sick. We want them too, and there were a lot of men buying our product. And then they started asking for, more masculine products as well. So you'll notice, I mean, if you saw them right at the beginning, you saw a lot of floral and hibiscus type patterns and things like that. And then we started introducing things like our Day of the Dead, our Muertos one, the Swashbuckler, which has skulls and crossbones and some things like that. But we get in a room. We have one of my partners heads up most of the design. His name's Tanner, and he's been the creative behind a lot of it. But yeah, we'll get in a room and throw up some ideas and things like that. He'll come to us with some concepts as well, and then we actually have a design team that puts them together on a grip mock-up, and yeah, we kind of just go from there. But try to find some cool patterns. We get suggestions sometimes from some of our followers on social media that are pretty good. We get some that are kind of little out there,
little out there,
a little outside the box per se. Has there ever been a fan
design?
design that you guys actually took to market, or is there something we could buy today that was thought of by a fan or came from a
inspired maybe?
customer?
Yeah.
You know what? So me and one of the guys at PGA Tour Superstore, James Humphreys, Hump as we like to call him. He and I talked about, and it was his thought that he came up with at first. He goes, man, you ought to do like a money grip with some $100 bills on it. And we'd kind of kicked it around a little bit on our end too, but he kind of pushed us to do it a little bit. And so you see the C note, if you've seen that one, that's one of our more recent drops, and that one's been awesome. But yeah,
that's a great idea. That's a great idea
for sure. I like the like just any way that you can incorporate money on the putter. It's because like that is your money stick. That's where you're going to make your money.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
like
that's
it's
right.
Yeah.
drive for show, putt for dough.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you know it. So yeah, we get a lot of that, a lot of those comments too. So it is fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We might have to start putting Chinese currency on there before too long, the way things are going, huh?
Yeah, literally. Throw some
I
yen
know.
on there.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's cool. We're actually in discussion with a few pretty cool apparel brands too about doing some collaborations there. I can't tell you who they are now just because things are still being finalized. But I mean, they got great designers. They have really cool designs. I mean, these are people that you know of and you're aware of. But yeah, we're excited about those collaborations.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Super cool.
Can't wait for that. Going back to the kind of collaborations you said you did it with like Anheuser-Busch and like the Navy and things like that. That's kind of a cool opportunity because I feel like everybody golfs. It's the great thing about golf. You know what I mean? So for you guys to be able to collaborate with different companies like that aren't necessarily directly related to golf, but you can still have a collaboration. That's awesome.
For sure.
Yeah.
Everybody's drinking beer on the course, and I think that being able to just throw your favorite beer into your golf bag per se in a different way, pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, hell yeah.
definitely. And also a lot of times too, I feel like the grips can be conversation starters, whether you have a new fourth in your group or something like that, and he sees you pull out the putter, it's boom, you got something to talk about, and you can oh yeah, I went to Golf Galaxy, I went to PGA Superstore, got this at Shields, like go check it out. There's a bunch more. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. In fact, it was funny. So one of the major putter manufacturers, one of the higher end ones, who make an awesome product, they were golfing with one of our guys at PGA Tour Superstore, and this was early on, right? And so one of the guys at PGA Tour Superstore had which grip was it? It was the Dogwood. He had that on his putter, and the president and owner of this putter club manufacturer, he sees his putter, he sees the other guy's putter, and he goes, "What the hell is that?" And he goes, "Dude, check it out." He goes, "Man, I've never seen that before. That is awesome." And it's actually one of the companies that we're talking about doing something with too. So
that's awesome.
That's fantastic.
Could you ever see Sweet Rollz possibly doing something where you guys came like stock on a putter for one of these companies, or?
Yeah, you know what? That's what we're talking about with those guys right now.
Okay.
A little bit of a process, but yeah, we're also looking at a few others too that we had some discussions with just when we were at the PGA Merch Show in Orlando 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, how did that show go actually? Because everybody, it seems, goes down to that. It seems to be like the ultimate marketing networking spot for the golf industry, and we missed the boat on it. A little bit late when we started hearing about it. The guys over at Dormy were talking to us about it, and it was like maybe a week before. So
yeah, I was gonna say we kind of found out just a little bit too late to make it happen for us, but that's definitely a huge target for us next year. So kind of want to hear how that went. And hear how it was.
Yeah, you guys got to go. I mean, you'd probably get an unlimited list of guests for your show too.
Right, for sure.
But it's amazing. I mean, it's basically broken up into two pieces. It's the apparel side and then the equipment side, and it's huge. I mean, they have it in the Orange County Convention Center down in Orlando. I mean, it's a flipping country mile to go from one end to the other one. Right. And but it's almost sensory overload seeing everything that's there, but it's super cool too. I mean, it's a fun show. It's a lot of fun. You guys need to go, even if it's just attendees, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say you guys had a booth, right? I saw on Instagram and everything. You guys had a booth.
Yeah, we had a booth. It was our second year. It was my second time going. I'd never been before last year, and it was a good show. It was. We thought, man, we got to go back. Last year it was interesting because a lot of the big guys weren't there, like Titleist and Cobra Puma and those guys, but they were there this year. But last year, I think that was in our benefit because we got a lot of attention that we may or may not have gotten otherwise. But
right, yeah, for sure. That's cool though.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, is there any plans possibly with getting any players, whether it be on mini tours or pro tours or any sort of that nature, getting them with Sweet Rollz or anything in store that people might not have heard about yet right now?
Yeah, I love the question. Yeah, we're in a couple of discussions right now with some people. Somebody just the other day was telling me that a lot of ladies are using our grips on the LPGA right now.
Okay, like Epson Tour too.
Yeah, things like that. Yeah. Shasta Avery Hart uses our grips. She loves our grips. She's sponsored by Puma Cobra. She's been fantastic to work with. But yeah, we've got a couple. In fact, we just signed on this end a couple of NIL deals. We hadn't really done it yet up to this point, but we've got a couple of local guys who are amazing here. One of them is Keanu Aquina. He plays for BYU. He's a great player. His younger brother, we signed him as well, and he's top 10 of his age in the country. Kihei Aquina. Yeah, he's off the charts. He's fantastic. Then we actually are we just signed with Tony Finau's brother, Gipper. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, and Gipper's Tony's awesome. We're big fans of Tony, and Gipper's equally as awesome, and so should be fun. But yeah, those are a couple of local guys here, but we're looking at some other stuff too.
For sure. Yeah, I feel like I said it earlier, like your grips just catch the eye right away. I feel like if you had someone on the tour, like anyone who's playing on TV, the analysts or whoever's commentating, or if they see it, they're going to talk about it.
100%.
I think I think it was Waste Management we were just watching.
Max Homa's
shirt. They spent like 20 minutes talking about this.
They just kept going back to it,
and it was like an unreal promo. And it's like if they saw your grip, they'd spend the whole time talking about it. So that would be sweet.
With the shirt, I don't know if you caught it, but it was like they were like trying to decipher what the pattern was, and it was like coyotes and cactuses. And the two announcers were just like debating back and forth, and then they got their answer.
Yeah.
Then 10 minutes later, they were like, "Oh, remember Max's shirt? Oh yeah, don't forget the shirt." The next day, I see a sponsored ad for the shirt from FootJoy, and I was like,
Really?
"That's free promo right there."
I was gonna say,
they just kept on talking about it.
I can only imagine if someone walks up especially that 16th green or something like that at Waste Management with the Sweet Rollz putter. I mean, come on.
with the Hawaiian grip on
Yeah.
there too. I mean,
Yeah.
instant eye catcher. And
For sure.
I know like when you're watching somebody putt too on TV, a lot of times you get to see like waist down, so you see their hands and the
Right.
grip they're using. And like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's notable to the point where I know right now watching the Genesis, I was like, is Rory still using the like Ryder Cup International Team putter grip from like 2 years ago? I was like, that's crazy. It hasn't switched one out yet.
Right.
But it's people will see all the Sweet Rollz grips and stuff.
Yeah.
So that will be cool.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah. And you know what? I think we've gotten a lot of feedback where, I think people are maybe a little bit hesitant to try them out, but then when they get them, they love them. They love the feel, the tackiness, the way it fits in their hand. I mean, we've received nothing but great compliments on it too, which we love. I mean, when you go to market with a product, you don't know how people are going to respond and how they're going to like it. And, we took a flyer on it originally, and we put out a product that people love. So that's fun and rewarding that way.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. I think one of the things too with like you were saying with like people, if they were hesitant to try it, it's like people sometimes forget like you can have a fun, cool looking product that's still luxury and high end. Like the stitching on these grips was like something along the lines of previously only used on exotic car manufacturers on their steering wheels. And it's like that caught your eye instantly. I remember we were talking about that for a long time because you're a big F1 guy.
Right. Yeah.
So there's like little things like that. I mean, super, super cool. I mean, one of BMW's selling points is that their interiors are designed and manufactured by the same people doing first class flight interiors. So same type of vibe.
Yeah, definitely. That caught my eye right away. Like I'm a racing fan, so that's pretty cool. Cool to hear. Definitely like to hear about maybe that stitching process or how does that work?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've actually not seen it done personally. At some point, we'll probably go over to our factory over in Asia. But yeah, it's nice. But we told them, hey, listen, we need to have something that holds up. That people chuck it in the bag, they yank it out, they
sometimes throw it on the course. Sometimes they might get a little angry at the putter.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's a club that you're using pretty much every hole, unless you stick one in from outside.
unless you're literally a stick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you hit it from downtown, but it's the club that's used on every hole for all intents and purposes. And so we want to make sure that it's good. And so they said, we can do a little bit of a different process on this, and that's the process that you read about. But yeah, it holds up. The grips hold up great. We stand behind our grips. That we every once in a while somebody will say, hey, I'm having an issue with this or whatever. We don't even ask any questions. We just send them a new grip and take care of them, make sure that they're super happy with what they have from us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, customer support that you get from like a brand like you guys has to be top notch, obviously, because you hear about like the horror stories with like TaylorMade and stuff, and people that spend this money on their products and then having to go through getting stuff. I mean, it's nice at least to know that you guys obviously are backing your products 110% and you have the confidence in it that if the 1 out of a million arises where somebody has an issue, that you guys can resolve it. So,
I was gonna say, you said you don't even ask any questions, just send them a new one. Like, I don't know. I like hearing stuff like that. Don't give them a hard time about it. Just, that's great.
Yeah. And I mean, we'll ask them, we'll try to gather info just to see where we can move on our end. But yeah, absolutely. We'll back it 100%. Yeah. So every time.
I like to do that for sure.
And I think one of the other things too is that I like the diversity just in the sizes of the grips, because he, for example, plays one of the thicker grips and I'm a slimmer grip guy. I like to have a lot more feel per se versus using that thickness to kind of help keep my line and strengthen my left hand. So it's cool to know that if you wanted to get one of these designs or you liked one of the grips, you're not limited to this one size and you kind of have to then conform to that. You can actually kind of pick and choose and get what fits your game specifically. So it is really cool.
Yeah. Sometimes, people want that more slender grip just to get more feel and feedback. And it can also be sometimes a little bit of a tougher grip to use as well. Maybe not as much control for the average golfer, but we've got this taper technology where on the thicker grip, our mid-size, it's a little bit thicker up top, but then it tapers down to give you that feel and that feedback like a more slender grip will too. So kind of get the best of both worlds in that, and there's a little bit of a taper on our skinny grip as well. So we want to provide people with that good feel, you know, that
For
they're
sure.
looking for, like you said.
Would you guys ever consider doing like arm locks or split grips or any of the crazier ones that you might see guys on tour using? Or
You know,
it's tough though, because those are like they're very niche markets for those. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
So it's understandable to avoid them, because sometimes you see a grip that some guys using on tour, and I'm like, I don't think you can buy that. That was wrapped up on the truck. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
We've discussed it a couple of times, but where we've got so many different designs, you know, I mean, which one would we go with, right? Or which ones? Because we couldn't do, you know, all 30 designs in an arm lock, you know, just because, like you say, it's such a niche market. You know, you got Shambo and 7 other people, you know, who use it, you know, and something like
so
that.
proportionally, it's like amateurs. How many amateurs are actually
Yeah,
doing that?
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I don't know. So yeah, right now, no plans for that, but yeah, who knows? If we got a lot of people requesting it, I mean, we've had probably 2 people that I know of request it. You know,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
we just ask about it. You ever going to do that? And not in the plans right now. But.
Right. Yeah. Definitely tougher, like you said, on the business end to kind of decide which design to go with, and then, like you said, how many to make and everything like that. That's something a lot of people probably don't think about either. Is, you know, like you said, the different SKUs you decide to go with, and, you know, the product that you're producing. Definitely.
For sure.
Yeah.
So would you is there any maybe designs that you've seen in the works at the office recently, or anything anyone sent to you that you might be able to allude to for the 2023 season coming up? Or
Oh man, that's you know what,
loaded question, but
Right.
that is a loaded question.
A good one,
We so our last 3 drops were the goat with the tiger print, WTF, which is kind of a cartoon type vibe, you know.
yeah, like the comic text almost.
Yep.
Yeah. And then the C note, you know, with the $100 bills on
Yep.
it. We just met yesterday and discussed a few different things. So there's some ideas and concepts on the table. There are a couple of them that we've already done, and we just hadn't released them yet, but we might pull the trigger on those. One's more of kind of a hip hop vibe.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of a graffiti kind of a thing. So it should be cool. We really like that one. We just held off on it.
Yeah.
And then we're actually launching some really colorful, just solid colors, like a neon green, you know, a neon pink, red, blue, you know,
That's
some colors
awesome.
like that. So yeah, just some plain, because there are people out there, believe it or not, who don't want something wild and crazy, you know. Or I mean, our grips aren't necessarily that wild and crazy, you know, but they don't necessarily want a design on it, but they like the brand, and so you know, give them something solid. Yeah,
it's one of those things where, like, I'm sure if anyone, you know this, but like I spend a lot of time too, like looking online at websites and different grips and everything, and I can probably think of 3 different green, like darker foresty emerald green putter grips out right now, and I can only think of one, and where I would know where to get it readily, which is your like green Hawaiian type putter grip. Like, I legitimately can't think of another one. So if you guys were to do even just a solid forest, solid emerald green grip, that thing would probably sell like hotcakes, because where can you get another one? Like the only other one I can think of even is like you get like subject to having to be like a fan of a team type thing, where you get like a Packers grip, and like I'm never gonna play with Packers grip. You kidding me?
Minnesota Wild or something.
Yeah, what? Get out of here. So I don't know.
It's
And
true,
and
though.
those two, you're getting some janky grip that's like not a nice grip, probably sold at the stadium or some weird fan shop. So it's cool to see. Like, I don't know, I just never see that's my favorite color grip as well. So that's why I'm very keen
an
on
underserved part of the market.
underserved part of the market, for sure.
Yeah,
So I'm glad to
definitely.
see you guys hitting on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, it'll definitely hit that market too, like you kind of alluded to, where some people don't want a print pattern all over, which is, you know, to each his own, obviously. But then you can give them a cool, solid color, which is, you know, not exactly basic. It's not like a dark blue or a black or whatever, but it's still a solid for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and what's interesting too is, like you mentioned, there's some grips out there like a Packers grip or something like that, and you got a tiny little Packers logo, and then the grip manufacturer splashed all down the front, and that's not necessarily our style either. I mean, we have our branding on there a little bit, so you know where to go to get one, you know. But we want the vast majority of the grip to be the design that people are looking for, or the color that people are looking for, or whatever. So.
Yeah, speaking of the like the prints and the designs you put on there, again, one thing I wanted to touch on that was super cool is you kind of like the same prints and stuff that you have on the grips, you throw on your guys' hats and like all the apparel and stuff like that, or I kind of noticed some resemblance. So it kind of helps like build the brand almost, you know what I mean? Where you see the hat, you see the grip, you know what I mean? Or if you're even wearing them together, it looks even cooler. Definitely wanted to hit on that.
It's like the hat you're wearing right now. You can get a putter grip in that. You can there's super cool. You guys also do head covers with some of the designs and the towels, and just kind of helps that customization side of when you're on the course and standing out and getting to individualize what you're doing. So it's cool.
Definitely big carrying over those designs. Sorry, go ahead. But
no, I love it. I was just gonna say that the word individualize is exactly what we wanted to do, because people want that more now. You know, it's not just the country club vibe with the same white polo shirt and khaki pants, or navy blue pants, or whatever they're doing. People want to stand out, and they want to be individualized on the course, whether that is what they're wearing, whether that's their putter grip, whether that's a hat or whatever. And we have people who want to match. We have other people who don't want to match, but still like, you know, a couple of the designs. They might want the safari grip on their putter and get the swashbuckler towel and the taco hat, you know, or whatever.
Exactly.
Exactly. In between. So yeah, it's fun that way too. We're having some fun with the hats. The hats have sold almost even better than the grips, because everybody wears hats. They wear multiple hats, you know. So
well, I feel like there's people that are out there too that I'm sure they're buying the hat that dropped for the grip they already had, and then there's also going to be people that are out there that are like, oh, I need a grip, and you know what, screw it, I need a hat too, and then they're just going to double down, towel, putter. I don't know, it's like just for like a bad example, but my dad, like, we golfed forever. My dad did not. So he, like, every once in a while will like send me a picture, and he like went to Golf Galaxy or went online and had like a little splurge, and he's a big pairing guy, if that makes sense. You know, he likes he would do the hat and the grip and be like, oh, and check it out, I got the putter head cover too and the towel. Like, so it's just cool.
From head to toe.
He's exactly. And like as are we, but it's funny with him because he doesn't have the game, but he's got the gear. So
that's half of it, you know. One of the things that we always say too is that, you know what, you can suck at putting, but you can still look good with our putter grip.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
You know? For sure.
It's kind of like growing up skateboarding. It's like it doesn't matter how good you are skateboarding, as long as you look good doing it. Cool. You can't look lame skateboarding.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Same thing with having one of those Sweet Rollz grips. You're not going to look bad.
No, you're not going to look bad.
You're going to look good when at least you're going to look good when you miss that par putt and take your bogey, you know?
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean,
or you'll make that birdie putt.
I was gonna say you'll make the birdie putt because you like what you're looking down at. One thing I wanted to touch on too is that is actually pretty important, or at least I feel like it's important when I'm looking down at a club, looking down at my putter, looking down at something sweet, something I'm in love with. You know what I mean? I think it really definitely helps feel a little more comfortable on the green, and maybe we'll sink that extra putt. Yeah, so it's definitely important.
Well, I'm glad you bring that up, because when I first started playing more than I had in the past, I remember talking to somebody. I talked to a couple people actually about putting specifically. I said, what is the key to putting and to getting a putter and everything that goes along with that? And they said, you got to get something that you can feel confident standing over. And we've had countless comments of people coming back to us saying, you know what, I look forward to putting more than I ever have, because I get to pull out my putter and I've got your grip on it, and I have confidence, and it makes me happy. And I'm staring down the barrel at a putt that I feel confident that I can make now. And it's crazy. I mean, that and probably some practice, right? Become a better putter. And so it's fun to get that feedback and hear people say how much they love the grip and how much it helps them just for that reason alone.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
For sure. So a lot of times too, we see like events take place, and whether it's brand hosted or brand sponsored. Is that anything that you guys would look into doing in 2023, whether it be like hosting a Sweet Rollz tournament, or does that sound interesting to you at all for something in the future? Because a lot of times too, we see when brands do like those in-person events and stuff, it's like, it's cool for the customer to be able to kind of feel a little bit closer to the brand. Cause a lot of times too, as corny as it sounds, the best promoters for the brand are just the people that love it. You know what I mean? They're going to talk about it all the time, tell anybody who's willing to listen. And that's like a great way, we think, to like make those.
Yeah. Have your customers get out in person, meet them in person.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. We've talked about doing that too. It's probably a matter of bandwidth for us, just because we've got a few other big things going on. But I mean, it is of interest to us. I think it'd be pretty cool to do one. We've got some great courses here in Utah, especially where we're located, where we could do some amazing things. We got some courses up in Park City that are beautiful, just mountain courses. So we've got the setting, we got the venues where we could do it. It could be fun. Could be really interesting. So would you guys come out if we did one?
Oh, 110%.
Of course.
100%.
Definitely. You mentioned mountain golf. So we've been on a little mountain golf kick, or we haven't gone mountain golfing. I was going to say,
we live in Buffalo. We haven't done any golf,
but it's been a recent dream of definitely mine, probably yours too, to get out there in the mountains and do some golfing. Cause, I don't know. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And events like that, I think they're a great time. And there's a couple cool things that like you might not think about with them. And it's like, imagine if it's like a 100-person event, right? And there's 25 4-man teams playing in a scramble type tournament. Let's say 30 of the guys or girls had heard about Sweet Rollz before the event. And let's say, just for the sake of numbers, 70 didn't. Now you have 70 new people who are going to be just like that 30 before. We're going to want to go out, talk about the brand, how much fun they had, when's the next one. Yeah. Just all that type of good stuff. And I think like obviously Sweet Rollz is one of those brands that could really snap on that market. And
bringing people out in person, showing them the product, even letting them, feel different grips so they can really feel that it's a quality product. You know what I mean? Things like that. I think would be sweet for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. Yeah. I think we could do some cool things. And what's interesting too, this is kind of blown my mind since we got started. We have some pretty influential people and, just household names that reach out to us and want to grip, want to do something, and I've never been involved with anything before that's been like that, where, I mean, we get NFL players and major league players and NBA players and, these big influencers who have tons of followers. I'm a partner in a consulting company as well. And let me tell you, these people aren't reaching out to our consulting company for stuff, boring stuff. That's just business and things like that. But the grips are fun. People love them. And so everybody has a good time with them.
Yeah. That's amazing hearing about, you said like NBA players and like, it's just one of the greatest things about golf is that I feel like everybody golfs, you know what I mean? So anyone who sees your product is definitely gonna catch their eye for sure.
And I think too, it's like you ever like chipped in or holed out or made that deep putt with like a new ball that you weren't using before, and then now that's the ball you're using forever. Like that's how I started playing the ball that I play. It was from making it was like one of our first rounds of the year, made like a 40-yard chip in, and I was like, that's it, this is the only ball from now on. I feel like it's like it's like with grips too. If you start putting with a Sweet Roll and you start noticing, wait a sec, I'm making a lot more putts with this thing, I have more confidence. You're gonna use it for a long time and have nice grips.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to hit on or ask you, we're talking about all these sweet grips. What do you, how's your personal grip game? Do you switch it out a lot? What are you currently using? I'd like to hear about that for sure.
You know what? I don't switch out a lot. I probably should, right? I know some guys who could hook me up.
Say, maybe you got a few at your disposal, right?
I started off with the Mahalo, which is the same pattern that's on my hat here.
Yep.
And I love that one. But then I switched to the O'Malley, which I love, the Shamrock one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Right now I've got the Safari on my putter. So I love that
elephant print type one, right?
Yeah, the elephant one. Yeah,
super dope.
Yeah,
super dope.
Yeah,
I like the backcountry too. That one's like I like the gradient going down through the trees. That one's clean.
Yeah, super clean. I love that you mentioned that one too, because when we were, you talk about the whole design process, the first digital design I saw of that, I was like, that grip sucks, or that design sucks, and I didn't like it at all. And then, but a couple of my partners did, and they sent it to our designer, and he came back with that gradient pattern. And I was like, okay, this actually looks pretty amazing. And then we got back, we're like, this grip is awesome. It's been one of our top sellers too, which surprised me. And I tell my wife about it too. She goes, that doesn't surprise me. I thought it was awesome from the beginning.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's a great looking grip.
That's funny. No, yeah, I love how that one looks for sure. It's definitely one of the ones that stood out to me. Other than, I mean, the pineapple one's a lot of fun too, and there's a bunch of cool designs on there for sure.
Something funny about the pineapple one is when we first came out with that one, a couple of the partners were not sure about it, but Tanner, who I mentioned before, he was the one that was really pushing for that one, and that grip out of the gates was selling 3-to-1 over the next closest grip. It was off the chain. It was crazy. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a massive seller for us. And I guess there's some type of international meaning with a pineapple as well. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but we learned that down the road. But
No,
I guess it's an international sign for swingers. So
wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Whatever sells, huh?
I was gonna say,
whatever sells.
sell them like
Whatever
crazy.
sells.
That's funny, man.
Oh, that is funny. There's a weird thing. There's when I saw it, the reason I was drawn to it was there's this one show I used to watch back in the day with my dad when I was real young, and it's called Psych, and they used to hide a pineapple in the show throughout the whole episode, and you'd have to watch it, and I'd be paying attention to the show, but I'd be really just looking oh, there it is, I found it before you, and then I just go to bed. It was it. But
That's funny.
It's funny.
That's funny. I didn't know that. My all my kids, I've got 5 kids, and they all love Psych. So I'll have to bring that up. So you know about that. I've never heard them talk about it. So I have to ask
I think in the first episode, the one dude, Sean, just grabs a pineapple off somebody's desks and holds it up, and it was iconic enough that they were we're just gonna keep throwing pineapples in there.
That's
awesome.
great.
I love that stuff.
Funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool for sure. Sticking on your personal golf game a little bit, what else is in the bag? Would like to definitely hear about that a little.
Yeah, so I've got a PXG driver that I thought would revolutionize my game. It doesn't seem to be helping too much, but no, it's cool. It's it's good. I've got
a sleek design.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, they have really cool products. I've got a Bettinardi putter that I love. That getting the grip on that putter, I've loved it. It is it's that whole confidence thing, right? You stand over that putter and the grip. I love the grip, and so it's been working really well. And then I've got Callaway irons and some Cleveland wedges. So
nice.
Cleveland wedges seem to be the main common interest amongst everybody, because I mean they really own the wedge game, because even with Callaway, the MD5 Jaws wedges, Callaway paid Cleveland engineers to come on and design those wedges and get the grooves right and get the weight distribution on the head right and everything. So when our other roommate, our third roommate, went yesterday, and he got a new job and he was hyped up, so he went and bought himself a new wedge set, and he bought 3 of the RTX Zip Core Cleveland wedges, and they got that toe milling on them, and probably took 200 chips last night in our living room just messing with them. They're nice. But they're no use to us because he's left-handed, so I'm a left-handed chip, and I'm this is a waste of my time.
That was super hype for him that he bought him. It was a little unexpected thing. Came home with the Cleveland, so that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah, I've loved the Cleveland wedges for like you say, for whatever reason. I mean, they just got it dialed in and feel super nice. And I mean, talking about the left-handed aspect, I know of people that have switched from putting right-handed to putting left-handed, and that's helped them. But swinging some wedges left-handed, that's gonna be more of an undertaking.
Yeah, for sure. That's the craziest thing to me too, that there's the putting righty and playing lefty or vice versa, and a buddy of ours, Joe Stewart, I don't think he'll care if we say his name. The first time when we were getting him into golf and when he was first playing, I remember he was taking some putts in our living room, and he stopped and he looked at me and goes, "Would it be weird if I played righty and putted lefty?" And I was it caught me so off guard. I was to be honest, it might be a little
Might
weird,
be weird.
but I was like, if it's gonna help you lower your score, do whatever you got to do to
Yeah.
play some good golf.
See, he was like new coming into golf though.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like if you were just playing golf throughout these years and then all of a sudden you decide to switch putting lefty? Like, man, it must have been going pretty bad putting righty that you decided to switch all the way to lefty. Like I've heard of people switching the grips and whatnot, but man, you switched the whole club.
Great kid. Last thing I'll say about him that's funny though is the first time I took him golfing, I was like, hey, can you throw me a ball from in my bag? And he goes, Pro 6, okay. I was like, Pro V1, brother. Pro V1.
Pro
6.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Good
Pro
stuff.
6, you're gonna hit off the cliff, right?
Yeah. I was like, if it says if it's a Pro 6, we got a problem.
We got an issue.
Put that in the water. But
That's funny.
Yeah. Getting back to the like Utah golf and everything. What's golf like out there? And I mean, compared to where we're at, it's got to be drastically different in the sense that we have like pretty dense wooded courses around here, or like wide open. There's a baseball field on the other tee box type thing. If you're at like one of these mini courses, that's not really anything special.
Yeah, we've got essentially two types of golf here. So right now here where we're at about 4,500 feet above sea level, and so we got mountain golf and some beautiful courses that way, but it's all shut down right now, right? We're having the best snow year we've had in the last 12, 13 years, something like that. And so, I mean, there's nobody out here golfing right now, but unless they're going to like Top Golf or something like that, we've got a couple that have sprung up and they're just killing it. But then also we've got a place called St. George, which is further south, about 3-4 hours south from where we're at, a couple of hour and a half north of Las Vegas. And it's more deserty and it's warmer this time of year down there. They rarely get any dustings of snow. Sometimes they get into lower temperatures, but you can pretty much golf year round down there. And they've got some great desert courses which are just beautiful. You've got the red rock and that dirt and everything like that. And then these green fairways. It's just, I mean, I love that too. So
yeah, that's
fantastic.
The transition colors, like when you got like the tannish to the reddish into like the lush green grass. That's like one of the most picturesque things. Throw a pond in there somewhere, a man-made pond with like super blue water. Super cool.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? With like that, like dyed water.
Yeah,
almost.
like
it's like I think of it as like mini golf water.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
Like always super blue, like Powerade blue.
Yeah,
incredibly different than anything we have here, though.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Like I think I don't even, if somebody were to ask us to describe it, I'd be like, it's like, think about what you would think standard golf is. Like that's, and I don't mean to say standard because it's what our standard is. Like, no, it's like if you see somebody playing golf in a movie, like it looks like that. Like it's not, I think with how long you can play golf here throughout the year, there's only so much you can invest into it per se with the courses too, because they're only open for so many months, but there's probably 5 or 6 courses that are notable, but within an hour radius.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm telling you, you guys need to get out here to Utah, man. We'll roll out the red carpet for you. And
no, wouldn't need anything too crazy, you know. I mean, we'd love to come out though and shoot the shit and play some golf, and
that would be amazing.
Get out to Utah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, that's definitely one of our goals, with this whole thing, is to kind of travel around and play a lot of golf and just see different types of golf. Like you said, like mountain golf. I've been on that kick of trying to get out there and watching different videos and stuff. So super excited for that.
I guarantee you after this, we're going to be watching Utah golf course, like flyover videos with the drones being like, this is it. This is crazy.
Yeah. You'll see some nice ones. So there's so much great golf across the country too, but I love the courses here. They're good.
Yeah, that's great.
100%.
And there's not snow on them.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you guys got it when there's snow out there, though. You got to have some like skiing, snowboarding, and some good resorts for that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we got Sundance, who you've probably heard of, where the Sundance Film Festival started. That's just up, around the corner and up the canyon from us, maybe 30 minutes at the most. We've got all the Salt Lake venues as well, where the 2002 Olympics took place, quite a while ago, but just amazing ski resorts. So we got some great stuff in here. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
But I think that pretty much wraps up everything we were looking to do and looking to talk about today. We won't take up too much more of your Saturday morning. Let you get back to whatever you had going on today. And we just want to thank you for taking the time to talk to us about Sweet Rollz and help introduce the people to, you know, getting that name and face to a brand, and just helping explain why you should be buying Sweet Rollz grips and have one on your putter.
Yeah, exactly. Super big thanks to you for taking the time, like you said, to talk some shop, chop it up. And like Joe said, you know, put a face to a brand, and really excited to highlight you guys because we love them for sure.
And hopefully get out to Utah and swing some sticks with you
definitely.
soon.
Right, let's do it. Let's do it for sure.
Absolutely.
No, appreciate you guys thinking of us and reaching out, and man, it's a pleasure to be on here. You guys are great. So love what you're doing with the show, and you know, bringing more love to the game of golf. And yeah, it's awesome. I wish you guys continued success with what you're doing.
Likewise on your end. I mean, you're doing a lot more than us with these putter grips because they're sweet.
Yeah. It was amazing to hear the story, how you guys got into all these stores, and how it was kind of like they were just hitting you up and everything like that. So it was super cool to hear. Super cool. Excited to hear or see what's next for you guys and everything like that. We'll keep following and all that.
100%.
Sounds good. If you guys have any good ideas on grip designs, let me know.
100%,
definitely. We'll stir some good
late
stuff
nights
up.
when we're thinking about it, we'll shoot over an idea with a poor sketch, you know.
We'll
like
draw something up. For
I
sure.
like it.
Joe, this is a stick figure holding a club. That's the design.
That's the design. You don't get it.
Yeah, awesome.
Sounds
good
for sure. But yeah, really appreciate it again.
Lance. Yeah, thanks again.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Okay,
absolutely.
Shout out to you.
All righty.
Perfect.
See you later.